Hello, my friends. Today we're going to be talking about the helpers. In our last tutorial video, we talked about the leaders, and behind every good leader is a helper. We're also going to be talking about RLM, how we're going to get it in-game, how we're going to spend it, what you can spend it on, and most importantly, how to get you to the next level. Alright, let's just jump straight in and start talking about the helpers. We know that we train helpers in our training facility. We know that we have to have housing to store the helpers. We left you last time, we had a housing limit of 20, and we only had one helper at the time, which is the helper that comes by default in everybody's game. This is the free-to-play helper. He's a very versatile worker because he doesn't have any negative qualities. However, he doesn't have any perks either. What's a perk? Well, last time we upgraded our training facility to train 2 helpers. We didn't have a second helper because we only had one worker. Well, now we have gone out and we have collected more workers. So now we have every worker that is available currently in Season 1, and we are going to talk about them. So the first one we have is the soldier. We have the farmer, the doctor, the engineer, firefighter, police, lawyer, surgeon, assassin. That may be overwhelming. You say, oh, which helper do I use? And right off the bat we notice that they cost more than the regular helper and it takes longer to train. Well, there's a good reason behind it. So let's close our helper window and we're going to look at the missions real quick. In our previous videos, we noted that when we click on a mission that it gives us a preferred helper. Now these preferred helpers give a boost to your mission success. And if we click on this mission down here, the preferred helper is a lawyer. And if you want to get more information, we can open the mission brief and we can see that each helper is listed in our mission brief. And the default helper for political protest was lawyer, and we can see next to the lawyer is 2 little plus icons, and that tells you that they hold a higher weight than the worker that has no plus icon. But we also see that the doctor, for example, has a red slash or a red negative sign next to it, and these red negative signs tells you that they are not suited for this type of mission and actually decrease compared to a worker that has no plus sign. So in this example we have a worker and we have a farmer, and both of them are going to have the same weight. So to see that in action, let's go ahead and train some of those helpers. We open a training facility and I'm done with my worker, so I'm just going to dismiss him. Now we have 2 available slots because our training facility is at level 2. So I'm going to hit plus, and we saw one of them was a lawyer and the other one was a surgeon. And so we're just going to hit auto to train both of them at the same time, and once it's done training we'll be right back. And we're back. With a little bit of movie editing magic, we now have our trained helpers fully ready to go. When they hit their max limit of 20 for the housing limit, the training automatically paused and it says due to not enough housing. So when I close this and I open my mission brief, I can see that I have 3 lawyers, 3 surgeons, and 14 workers. Well, I really want more lawyers so I can get that perk of the 2 plus signs. So what you can do is you can actually click up here at the top for the helpers, and you can choose to dismiss your helpers to make room for the ones that you're wanting. So if we just hit this dismiss icon, you can either slide it or use the plus. I'm going to dismiss 8 workers, and I'm just going to click dismiss, and they're gone. Now a good thing to note, it does take resources to train helpers, and if you dismiss them, you do not get the resources back. So only dismiss them if you're sure that you want to train other helpers. If not, one of the things I routinely do is if I have a mission that I want to get started, I go ahead and send a bunch of the ones that I want to dismiss. That way it'll lower the mission success requirements, and I also burn the helpers without wasting them. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll get a mission success with a very low percentage. So if we go back to our training facility that was paused because we didn't have enough housing space, we can now resume our helpers, and we can train additional 8. So we're going to have 4 more surgeons and 4 more lawyers, and when we're done with that, we'll be right back. And just like that, our helpers are trained. Hopefully what was only a couple minutes for me was instantaneous for you. We have 7 lawyers and 7 surgeons trained, so now let's use them. So we're going to close our training window. We're going to jump over to our political protest mission, open the mission brief, and now we can see those newly trained helpers and the perks that come with them. So as I said before, the worker is a versatile worker. It never has a positive or negative effect. One worker is always worth one worker. And if we hit the plus sign to add 1 worker to our mission, we can see that the chance of success for a single worker is only 4.2%. Now, in our previous video, we talked about how to upgrade the team size for the leaders. If you haven't seen that video, check it out now. If not, we are going to have a smaller team size, such as the Jane and John, who, even though are level 2, can only carry 10 helpers with them. Now our hacker is a 1-star hacker, but he can carry 15, so that's going to be my leader of choice. And it tells us here that he can hold 15, and so you can just go in and slide all of the worker bars and max it out. But instead of just going in and choosing all the helpers you have available, we're going to actually strategize which workers we send on which mission. Now the lawyer has a 2+ perk, so if we add 1 lawyer, we'll see that a single lawyer helper with his perk is 16.7%, a lot higher than that 4% from a single worker. But what about the surgeon? I told you that that red negative sign is going to decrease the potential of the worker. However, because he is not the free versatile worker, 1 surgeon is still going to be a little bit higher than the worker, but not as high as a worker that was made for the mission. So if we bump him all the way up, it's only going to take 6 lawyers. We can carry 15, but in this case we only need 6 to get the max level for our leader. And I'm going to go ahead and send him on the mission. And since we always have 2 missions in each region, I'm going to go ahead and open the mission brief for earthquakes. And we can see that all of the stats for our helpers have changed. Our surgeon, which only had a 6% success for a single worker. Now the requirements are a little higher, so the numbers are going to be a little different. For instance, the worker, instead of the 4.2%, it's only going to be 3.8%. So it's already weighted a little differently. But remember that 6% from the previous mission for our surgeon, well, a single surgeon is now 15.5%. So it's always beneficial to use the suggested helper for the mission, so you don't have to send as many, you don't have to train as many, and you can turn around the missions a lot quicker. Now, the lawyer for this particular mission, unlike the surgeon in the previous mission, does not have the negative effect. So if we have a helper that is neutral and we add 1, it's still going to be a little bit higher than our versatile worker. So you can see right off the bat, even a single helper NFT is going to help you advance tremendously, because you're not having to train nearly as many. You're not having to not only wait for it, but you're not going to have to upgrade your leaders as quickly to hold more helpers. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like if we max out our surgeon, and just like our lawyer, it's only going to take 6. So let's find a leader that can hold 6, And that's pretty much all of them. It is all of them. So we're going to use the hacker again. As I said in our leader video, the leader does not matter as far as perks are concerned. They do not give any perks. The only thing that matters when choosing a leader for your mission is the team size. Now, if you're trying to level up a particular leader, then you'd want to send that leader out so they can earn XP. And we're going to start the mission. And then we're going to talk about how to get a helper. Now, you can always go to the secondary market like Atomic Hub and search for Realm NFT Game and filter on helpers. But Realm has a unique store feature in-game, and you can use the salary that you earn from your leaders to purchase them. The leaders, the helpers, if we look at it, is priced at 4,000 Realm. You can see that we don't quite have 4,000 Realm. However, if you go to Alcor, you can exchange wax directly for Realm, which I have already done. So we have a balance of 4,000 Realm in our wallet, but it's not showing in our game. So how do I get it in the game? Well, it's real simple. If we click the amount, it'll automatically put it in here, or you can change it and put whatever you want, but I want the full balance, so I'm going to click the balance and I'm going to click deposit. And it's going to pop up a confirmation window. You click yes. And what you're not seeing on the other screen is the contract approval. So I'm going to approve it. And we get this warning. And now when you see this warning, if you click OK, you're not going to see the message, but the message actually says that it could take up to 10 minutes to validate the transaction. So just be aware of that. If you click on it and you say, oh, where's my Realm? Just remember, it could take up to 10 minutes. So I'm going to click OK. And we are going to wait. And hopefully with the help of some movie magic, it will show up instantaneous. So we'll be right back with you. And once again, we're back. Our Realm has showed up in our in-game wallet. And just to touch on it real quick, if you wanted to withdraw the Realm, it's the same process. You can click on the game balance, withdraw directly to your Wax wallet by clicking the withdraw, and just like the deposit, you can specify how much you want to move around. But we're going to use it in-game, so we're going to leave it as is. And while we were waiting on the salary to be updated, which only took about 3 minutes, our mission log shows that we have missions, so let's check on them. And it looks like we were successful with both of our missions, which I hope, because they were 95% chance of success. Now the 95% doesn't mean it's guaranteed. I have failed missions higher than 95%. I think my highest was 97.5%. But for the most part, 95% almost guarantees you a successful mission. So I'm going to go ahead and claim. And we have actually reached reputation level 3 for completing those 2 missions. We gained additional resources, so that was a pretty good little mission haul. And we leveled up our region leader, so pretty cool. Now we can see that we have 2 new missions. You know, there's always 2 active missions, and if you don't see an active mission, it's probably because you didn't check your mission log. But when we click on it and we open the mission brief, we see that I have 1 lawyer, I have 1 surgeon, I have 13 workers, and while we were away, I trained a few assassins. Now, let's jump over to the second mission, which happens to be preferred helper of an assassin. So it's lucky for me that that's the one that I chose. I actually messes up my example, because what I was going to tell you, when you're training helpers before the mission shows up, you don't always train the right helpers. And in this case, for the political protests, that's actually true, because we only have 1 lawyer. So if we add the lawyer, I'm going to choose the helper with the highest, the leader with the highest team size, and then I'm going to put all my workers in it, and just for fun I'll throw in the surgeon. So you can see if you don't have the preferred helper, it's going to take a lot more helpers that you've trained to increase the chance of a successful mission. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there with 40.2%, and I'm going to jump over to my hostile targets, open the mission brief. I'm going to give 5 assassins, so it looks like it would take 10 assassins to get to that 95%, but if we remember from earlier, we sent 15 helpers for the political protest, so 5 assassins, it's still going to be more of a successful mission chance than just training a generic worker. So let's pick our leader and start the mission. So let's talk about the realm that we deposited and how to get a helper. So we're going to go over here to the store. We're going to click to open, and we see a list of helpers. They're all the same price, and if you are seeing a mission pop up more often than other missions, or if you are missing a helper or you're getting a helper for the first time, it is as easy as clicking accepting the confirmation window, and your purchase is complete. And just like that, if we open our NFTs window, jump to the helpers tab, we can see that we now have 2 lawyers. So real easy to get your hands on some helpers, and if you are playing play to earn with leaders, you can earn enough realm to buy one without having to do any kind of RLM transfer to and from the game. Now, why would I want 2 of the same helper type? Well, when I accepted the mission log, I didn't know what missions were going to pop up next. So you could either guess, like I did, and I got lucky, or you can wait until the mission pops up, and if you have multiple of the same helper type, you can actually assign both NFTs to the same training facility. And in this example, I'm going to be training my lawyers twice as fast. So I have 2 lawyers training at the same time. So instead of waiting 30 seconds for 1 lawyer, I only have to wait 30 seconds for 2 lawyers. And if I upgrade my training facility to level 3, let's see if we have enough resources. We do not. But if we unlock enough resources to get that 3rd training spot, you can assign any helper that is in your wallet. Now let's talk about boosts just real quickly. In the My NFTs window, we have a boosts page, and we talked about in a previous tutorial video that the same way we just purchased a helper, you can also purchase boosts. And this particular boost gives a 10% training speed increase for the next 24 hours. Now, if you use this boost, it is going to transfer this out of your wallet and burn it. So the boost card is only one-time use, but if we want to use it, we click the use button, and just like purchasing it, you're going to confirm. You're going to accept the contract, which is on my other screen. Just approve that, and the boost is applied. So I have 24 hours to train helpers at a 10% increase in speed. So if I click back over to the training center, remember before it was 30 seconds, now we're only having to wait 27 seconds. And when you're completing missions quickly and you are completing multiple missions, that 3 seconds really adds up. And as you unlock regions, Asia, Europe, North America, every time you unlock a region, the time in which it takes to train a helper will increase. So those boosts become more and more beneficial as you progress through the game. We're going to jump in the store one last time so we can talk about the extra boosts that are available. The boost that we applied is a 10% boost. It is the training speed reduction, which is this 10% increase for a duration of 24 hours. But if you needed to train your helpers even quicker, you can jump over to the rare boost, which will speed it up by 25%. It is only for a duration of 12 hours. Or you get into the epic boosts, the training speed increase is 50%. So you can quickly reduce that 30-second training time to 15 seconds. And if you're constantly finding yourself running out of resources while training helpers, there is a training cost reduction. The epic card is reduced by 30%, and both boosts last for 6 hours. So if you have some time to dedicate to your missions, you can use those boosts to help you get through them quicker, increase your chance of success, and hopefully complete more missions. And if you're climbing through the leaderboard and you see that the competition is gaining on you, or if you're just teetering on the edge of getting into the top 500 before the end of the season, which as of the recording of this video is less than a week, you can increase your chances of success by purchasing the helpers. So if you've already gotten to the next level by purchasing leaders and leveling them up, the next level for you is the helpers. We'll see you next time with another tutorial video.